Welcome to the Boys and Ivy Chicago Cubs podcast. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Boys and Ivy. I'm your host, Jason Mead, alongside with my son, the 2024 Cubs Junior Broadcast winner, Parker Mead, a.k.a. Park Chop. How you doing, pal?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Who's the bobblehead of the day?
The bobblehead of the day is JD, Vince Jays, and Boog.
Those your guys? Those your favorite broadcasters right there?
Oh yeah.
My favorite.
When I won it, when we left, they would say, "Hey, here's a goodie bag for you and your sister," and I had this in it. So.
Yeah, Boog and JD has been pretty good to you so far. My favorite Cubs broadcaster ever is the obvious. Harry Carey. There's a drive way back deep to left field. Ryan Sandberg with a home run. He'd be about 3 or 4 Budweisers in by the 3rd or 4th inning and just calling a great game. But anyway, we want to welcome you guys to the show. We thank you for the support so far. It's been really good. We are very excited to bring you these. This is our 3rd one, like you said, and it's been a blast so far. Have you had fun with it, Park?
I've had lots of fun with it.
So hopefully we can bring you 20 to 30 minutes a day of a podcast at least. Once the baseball season gets started, then we'll try to do them every day. But right now we'll try to bring you one every couple of days or so, as long as Cubs news keep coming in. But if you could, follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to listen to us on Spotify, we're on there too at Boys and Ivy Podcast. So check us out if you could. Cubs made a splash, and Cubs and the Astros are actually trade buddies right now. Cubs acquire closer, Ryan Pressly from the Astros. How do you feel about that, Chap?
I like it. I do like it because, 1, he can pitch in pressure situations, and 2, he throws pretty hard. He throws pretty hard. Yeah, he's had great seasons. He won a World Series. So what are your thoughts on him?
Well, a lot of the Cubs have been wanting us to spend, but we actually got a pretty good deal out of this, I think. We didn't really have to give up much. I think we might have given up 2 dozen of baseballs. I mean, we have to make up for the Cody Bellinger trade because we only got 1 dozen baseballs out of him from the Yankees. But here is the details of the trade. The Cubs acquire Ryan Pressly from the Astros, along with $5.5 million in exchange for Cubs minor leaguer Juan Bello. I don't know. What do you think? Juan Bello? I think it's a pretty good deal.
I've actually never heard of him, and we just got an all-star World Series champion pitcher out of him. And I haven't heard of Juan Bello. I mean, hopefully people don't say I'm not a true Cubs fan, but never heard of this guy.
Yeah, he pitched for the Pelicans last year. I think he went 4-5 or something like that. I think he's only 20 years old. I think he'll end up having a pretty decent career. The Astros usually can pump out some of them young guys that come up. They got a pretty good farm system as well. But we do bring on Pressly. He waived his no trade clause. I thought he was going to come in because they said he wasn't going to waive his no trade clause unless he was a closer, which I didn't really like that out of the gate. But I think you should have to earn that job because
Porter Hodge.
I really like Porter Hodge too. But Pressly comes in at 2-3 with a 3.49 ERA, and he only had 4 saves last year, and that is a big reason because Josh Hader took his job. Yeah,
Josh Hader's a good pitcher too, though.
He is. Signed him to a $90 million deal. A lot of money for a closer. Now, does this fix our bullpen and closing situation?
I think it brings it up a ton. I think it does bring it up a lot. Maybe add probably one more decent closer or not closer, maybe just relievers. It could be someone that pitches pretty good ERA around that 2.31 ERA. It's always good. But yeah, he brings in a ton of talent. Hopefully he gets a lot of saves this year and loves being with us and signs another deal.
We've really made a pretty good couple trades here, getting Kyle Tucker for Paredes, Cam Smith, and we picked up two guys that are just dogs, are all stars, and guys that's won World Series, and this is just what we need. I think we need some guys like this to come in, and who knows? I think it's going to be a pretty good year for us. Now, your guys, Porter Hodge, I was excited about Porter Hodge too because I really wanted him to get a chance at this. But bringing in Presley, maybe this sets up our guy Porter Hodge for the eighth inning and come and shut the door and with Presley the ninth. It's definitely an upgrade from the other Houston Astro bum that we had, Hector Neris, that drove us absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, it's basically like when my mom tells me to clean my room and I forget and I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, when she walks in the door.
What's gonna happen when she walks in here and I'm just like, oh, this is bad. This is bad. That's how I feel when Hector Neris comes in. This is bad.
Yeah, I agree. He made me nervous every time I watched him pitch last year. And it just, I mean, I want to say he blew a handful of saves. Man, we could have had those games back. Who knows? We could have made the playoffs. Now, I don't really worry about our starting pitching because our starting pitching is locked down, I think. You know, Shota is actually our ace. Steele's the number one pitcher, too. J-Mo had a good second half of the year last year. I thought he did awesome. We picked up a lefty, Matt Boyd from Cleveland. That dude, he's got some nasty movement on his pitch. And Javi Assad, I thought Javi played pretty well last year, too. And we also picked up Colin Ray from the Brewers. What do you think about Ben Brown? Is Ben Brown going to possibly get a starting shot this year?
I think he'll get a few starts this year. One thing that hopefully he doesn't get hurt again. We don't want him to get hurt. He's a good pitcher. He did pretty good last year until he got hurt. And he only had how many starts did he have? Not a lot.
He just had a few. Yeah, a few.
Probably one or two, three.
And who knows? You know, Cubs are also talking about Nate Pearson possibly competing for a starting job. Maybe, I don't know. And Cade Horton, will Cade Horton get his shot in the big leagues this year? We'll have to wait and see that too. But like I said, I like what the Cubs have done with the bullpen. I don't really think our pitching was the problem last year. It was definitely our offense. Our offense just didn't pick it up very well.
A lot of runs scored.
We had a lot of runs scored. Like I said, the bullpen picking up Presley, Porter Hodge, he might be the eighth inning guy. Tyson Miller did a really good job last year too. We bring in Eli Morgan of Cleveland. We still got Luke Little, Julian Merriweather. We picked up Rob Z. But what do we do with Jordan Wicks?
Jordan Wicks. I think he's a great player. He did pretty good last year, but it's kind of hard now. Our bullpen's doing really. We're getting some pretty good guys. I definitely think he's gonna pitch. I have no doubt about that. He's definitely gonna get pitch. He's definitely gonna get to pitch.
Do you think he's a better starter? I think he might.
The thing is, if he's a starter, we have so many good starters now. Like, it's kind of hard for him to fit in there as a young guy. Maybe if he's doing great at the relieving spot, they might move him up. Like Kyle Hendricks, just say for him, he was a starter, but then they moved him to the bullpen because he didn't have a lot of good starts. But
last year at the end of the year,
yeah, he didn't have the best.
But I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with Wicks. Like I said, he could possibly compete for a starting role, but he wouldn't be a bad guy to come in and pitch in the late innings because the thing with me is we just have problems throwing strikes. And a lot of the guys have problems throwing strikes. So, and another guy that we got in the bullpen that's an absolute fireballer is Daniel Palencia. What do we do with Daniel Palencia?
I think they need to work on him with control. He throws really hard. But the control he needs to work on a lot. Because if he gets control, he's going to be a DAW.
Yeah. Because when he's throwing, you can smell the gasoline through the TV. He throws so hard. And he's one of your favorite bullpen pitchers too. Why is that?
Because he played catch with me once in the outfield, and ever since I liked him. He looks at my stuff a lot, and he's a good pitcher. He just needs to find a little control, and if he finds control, he'll be a dog.
He is. He's built like a bulldog, too. Cubs hire an assistant pitching coach, Casey Johnson. They call him the pitcher whisperer. He relates because he relates well to the young guys. He's an instructor at Driveline Baseball Academy. And they say this guy's the real deal. So maybe he can work with some of these young guys and get us dialed in.
Like Cade Horton, he might work with him, and Cade Horton might probably do great and maybe get called up.
You know what, though? When it comes down to pitching, like I tell you guys and your team, pitching 101, you got to throw strikes. You can either throw strikes or you don't.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how hard you throw a ball forward.
That's right. It doesn't matter how hard you throw that sucker. If you can't control it, see what happens was, you get late in the game situations and walks kill you, especially leadoff walks. Leadoff walks score almost 50% of the time that they get on, it seems like. But that's the biggest problem in bullpen situations. And not only that, but guys that throw, that don't throw strikes, it just kills the momentum, it seems, coming down the stretch. And today's pitchers compared to back in the day pitchers, you get guys in 7th, 8th, 9th inning, every one of those guys are throwing 100 miles an hour. The guys that throw 91, 92 are kind of like a thing of the past. Back when I used to watch it when I was a kid, I remember a guy named Rob Dibble that was just a flamethrower. And every time that he'd come in, everybody would be like, holy cow, Rob Dibble can hit triple digits. But now it's an average Tuesday night. Half these guys can throw 100. I mean, what? Guys 7th, 8th, 9th all the time throwing fireballs.
Yeah. If Nolan Ryan pitched today, I think he'd strike out a lot of guys. Especially with the strikeout rate nowadays.
Yeah, strikeout rate, yeah, absolutely. You get guys batting 200 or get guys batting 270 getting $700 million contracts. Insane.
And then you got Luis Arraez batting like 300 and he gets paid like nothing. It's like, come on, like, don't you want the guys that can hit?
Game has changed. So the Cubs done. We don't know. A lot of rumors going around. Should the Cubs sign Alex Bregman? Or do you want Matt Shaw to get his shot at third?
If we sign Alex Bregman, I don't want. In my opinion, I don't want him. I want Matt Shaw to play third base. Wait, can Alex Bregman play shortstop and can he play middle infield too?
I'm sure he probably could. But we're locked up in the iffy. The only thing I'm worried about is Nico Horner, because last year at the end of the year they said that Nico could barely throw the ball to first base, and that's concerning. I know he had a surgery in the offseason. They say he's taking some ground balls right now, but man, if he can't throw, then what? Then what do we do? Is this why we should pick up Bregman or somebody else? I don't know, because I know Matt Shaw can play second.
Yeah, we can move Matt Shaw to second base, keep Bush at first base, move Bregman to third base, and then the thing is though, if we sign Bregman, what are we gonna do when we get Nico back? Are we gonna keep him at third base and not have Matt Shaw and put him back down, or what are we gonna? Are we gonna use Alex Bregman to get a trade? What are we gonna do?
I don't know. I think he's gonna sign a low, or maybe a 1 year or 2 year deal. I know he's looking for a big deal, but at this point, if we do have some problems with Nico, there's a guy in the minor leagues, James Triantos, that's really good too. He's one of our top prospects. Maybe you can possibly bring him up, keep Matt Shaw over there at third. But I think the Cubs are definitely built. We're built a defensive team. If you look at it right now, how many Gold Gloves do we have in this infield and outfield right now?
I think so. We got Dansby, Nico, Happ. Who else we got? Kyle Tucker. He was a Gold Glove, wasn't he?
Yep.
Kyle Tucker. Pete will eventually get one. I'm sure he will. Matt Shaw might get one eventually. And maybe Bush was in the finalists. He might get one eventually. We'll see what happens at that.
He does, because last year, if you bet the under on runs last year at Wrigley Field, you probably won a lot of money last year, because for whatever reason, last year the run scored was not good at Wrigley Field. So now do we build our team based on that? And I think that's what Cubs kind of done. You got PCA in center field, and Wrigley Field's actually a smaller outfield, so he could probably cover a lot more ground than what he is. So maybe we possibly move Hap and Tucker towards the line a little bit and just let Pete run wild out there in center field. What do you think?
Yeah, really fast. So, and some of the balls, like he was running for, and then we got someone coming over and like, just let him get the ball. Just let him get it.
Pete can run down about anything. So I think, like I said, I think defensively, besides Shaw and Amaya, I think we got 7 Gold Gloves on this team this year. I really do. I really do. That, just, like I said, depending on whether what happens with Nico if he comes back and he plays the entire season there. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the defense. We're definitely going to be built there, and our pitching staff's really good. We just got to hit. And there's just so many times last year that we just couldn't get big hits and big spots, and we left a lot of runs on the bases there. So hopefully we can tear it up in the box this year. Let me ask you this, the last question here. Are the Cubs a 90-win team?
I'm kind of leaning more towards like an 85, 87. I don't know if we'll get to 90. I hope we get to 90. I hope we get to 100.
We've been back-to-back 87 the last 2 years, right? We got 3 more wins in us, don't we?
I'm sure we do with all the pickups well, not a ton, but we've had some pretty big pickups. But yeah, I think, well, if we look at that, we're plus 300 or 3,000 to win the World Series. That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It is, but we're plus 130 to win the division, which is pretty good. I think this is our division to win.
You know what? Maybe we can be a sneaky team like the Diamondbacks were that one year.
All it takes is just to get in. You got to have a dog in the fight, and I think we can get in. I think we'll win the division.
I feel like the Cubs would be really good in the playoffs. I don't know why. I just feel like they would do really good in the playoffs.
Defense wins games, and I think we have the best defense. We just got to hit the ball.
In the league, you think we got the best defense?
I think we got the best defense in the league, hands down. You heard it first right here on Boys and Ivy. We got the best defense in the league, hands down. So we'll see what happens. I think the Cubs are going to win 92 games. That's my prediction. That's my prediction.
I'm going to say 91.
91.
91.
All right. We're right there. We're close. But, yeah, I'm excited for the season, like I said. I think the Cubs go win the whole dang thing. The whole thing. But I say that every year. And just like the Bears, the Bears, I'm going to do the Super Bowl shuffle every year. But every year we're in the top 10 in the draft.
I guess you better say – I bet you got to say, we're not going to make it to the Super Bowl. We suck. And then you guys might make it.
Reverse psychology, right?
Like Seiya Suzuki used to say he sucked and then he did a homer.
I did. That happened a lot, didn't it?
Yeah.
Drive me crazy. Oh, man, Suzuki stinks.
And then you look at me like.
And then bang, it's a freaking bomb. Pretty sweet. Now Cubs 92 wins is my prediction. Parker's got 91. But yeah, super excited to get Ryan Presley. Welcome to the Cubs. And we're going to do some damage this year. We want to thank you for tuning in to our third podcast of the Boys and Ivy, alongside my partner, Park Chop Mead. We want to thank you for tuning into today's show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And like, subscribe, and share away if you could. Help us out. And we'll see you next time here on the Boys and Ivy.
This is Boys and Ivy, and we out.
Good job.